the middle of a brouhaha as I appear to have run afoul of probably the worst woman in American politics, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm writing about a woman who might be a supervillain, like the Riddler.
Dear Batman, I'm writing about a woman who might be a supervillain. She's obsessed with conspiracy theories, votes against police funding, and tries to put comedians in jail for making jokes about her. No, this isn't the plot of a new comic book. It's Jimmy Kimmel's actual response to Marjorie Taylor Greene reporting him to the police. And if you think that's wild, just wait until you hear the full story.
Report me to the police. If that's how she wants to play it, I'll report you right back. And I won't go to the police. I'll go to the Justice League.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. It all started with Marjorie Taylor Greene's fiery comments about her fellow Republicans. She wasn't pulling any punches when she called out those supporting Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination to the Supreme Court. Greene accused them of being pro-pedophile, a statement that quickly caught the attention of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel, known for his sharp wit and political commentary, couldn't resist taking a jab at Greene. On his show, he quipped, "Wow, where is Will Smith when you really need him?"
A lovely thing to say. So I made a joke. I said, "Where is Will Smith when you need him?" And the audience laughed, and then...
The joke, referencing Smith's infamous Oscar slap, was meant to be a humorous critique of Greene's inflammatory rhetoric. However, Greene didn't see the humor in Kimmel's words. Instead of brushing off the joke, Greene interpreted it as a threat to her safety. She took to Twitter, accusing Kimmel of making a threat of violence against her.
ABC contacts my employer. This threat of violence against me by Jimmy Kimmel has been filed with the Capitol Police.
The irony of her response wasn't lost on many, given Greene's own history of controversial statements and actions. This is a woman who has previously liked social media posts calling for violence against Democrats and has been criticized for her confrontational behavior towards colleagues. Greene's decision to report Kimmel to the Capitol Police sparked a wave of public reaction. Many saw it as an overreaction and a waste of police resources. Others pointed out the hypocrisy of Greene's actions, given her previous vote against additional funding for the Capitol Police.
That's who she called, the people she wanted to defund. It's amazing how quickly you can go from these liberals who can't see anything anymore to, "What'd you say? I'm calling the cops."
The situation quickly became a topic of heated debate on social media and news outlets. As the public waited to see how Kimmel would respond to the police report, tensions continued to rise. Would he apologize? Double down on his criticism? The anticipation built as people wondered how this clash between comedy and politics would unfold. Kimmel's initial response came in the form of a tweet that perfectly encapsulated his brand of humor. He wrote, "Officer, I would like to report a joke."
I tweeted back, I wrote, "Officer, I'd like to report a joke."
This simple yet effective mockery of Greene's actions set the stage for what was to come. But the story didn't end there. Greene, seemingly undeterred by the backlash, decided to escalate the situation on social media. She continued to push her narrative, insisting that Kimmel's joke was a genuine threat. As the back and forth between the comedian and the congresswoman intensified, it became clear that this clash was about much more than just a joke. It was a microcosm of the larger debate surrounding free speech, political correctness, and the role of humor in addressing serious issues.
And repeatedly indicated support for executing prominent Democratic politicians. Now she's dialing 911 because she got made fun of.
While Greene continued her tirade online, Kimmel was crafting a response that would make Batman proud. How does a comedian fight back when accused of inciting violence? The answer involves superheroes, sarcasm, and a healthy dose of political roasting. Kimmel didn't shy away from the controversy on his show. He dove right in, addressing the situation with his trademark blend of humor and criticism. "Once again, I find myself in the middle of a brouhaha," he quipped, "as I appear to have run afoul of probably the worst woman in American politics, Marjorie Taylor Greene." The audience's laughter set the tone for what was to come.
In the middle of a brouhaha as I appear to have run afoul of probably the worst woman in American politics, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Kimmel's approach was unapologetically sarcastic. He took aim at Greene's decision to report him to the Capitol Police, pointing out the absurdity of her actions. "This is what she does instead of working," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. "She called the police and reported this." The irony wasn't lost on anyone. A politician who had voted against police funding was now running to them over a joke.
Person from the 14th District of Georgia is unhappy. She's specifically unhappy with me. She's had a tough couple of days.
But Kimmel wasn't done. He turned his wit to exposing what he saw as Greene's hypocrisy. Referencing her controversial campaign ad, he remarked, "I also find it very rich that a person who did this in her campaign ad is suddenly whining about fantasies of violence." The juxtaposition was stark, and the audience's reaction showed they were fully on board with Kimmel's take. In a creative twist that perfectly captured the absurdity of the situation, Kimmel read out a mock letter to Batman. "Dear Batman, how's it hanging?" he began, eliciting chuckles from the crowd. "I'm writing about a woman who might be a supervillain like the Riddler."
I'm writing about a woman who might be a supervillain like the Riddler.
This clever use of pop culture not only entertained, but also effectively portrayed Greene as a potential comic book antagonist. As Kimmel's monologue unfolded, it became clear that his approach was resonating with viewers. The laughter and applause from the studio audience were just the beginning. Social media soon lit up with reactions, memes, and discussions about Kimmel's takedown of Greene. His ability to blend humor with serious political commentary had once again struck a chord. Kimmel didn't stop at Greene. He took aim at other political figures too, including Matt Gaetz. "This imbecile," Kimmel said of Gaetz, before advising him to stay indoors, it's Girl Scout cookie season.
To Rep Matt Gaetz, stay indoors, it's Girl Scout cookie season.
It was a masterclass in using comedy to critique and challenge those in power. As the dust settled on Kimmel's comedic counterattack, it became clear that this clash between a late-night host and a congresswoman was about more than just a joke. It raised questions about the role of satire in political discourse, the limits of free speech, and how public figures respond to criticism. The stage was set for a broader discussion about the power of humor in the face of political controversy. The Kimmel-Greene saga highlights the delicate balance between comedy and politics in America today. Comedians like Kimmel use humor to critique and challenge those in power, serving as a vital check on political excess. Yet, as Greene's reaction shows, some politicians view satire as a threat rather than a form of protected speech. This tension raises important questions about the future of political discourse. How can we maintain the sharp edge of satire without crossing into perceived threats? Is there a way to bridge the gap between those who see comedy as a weapon and those who view it as a shield for democracy? As lines blur between entertainment and politics, the role of satirists becomes increasingly complex. Will we see more clashes like this one, or will a new understanding emerge? The answer may shape the landscape of American political humor for years to come.